Hey there and welcome. If you're a boat owner, you know that beautiful, glossy finish is way more than just for show. But do you really know what's protecting your hull from the elements? Is it gel coat? Is it paint? Today, we're going to clear up all that confusion so you can make the absolute best choice for your boat. Let's dive right in. So what is really standing between your boat's hull and the wild, wet world out there? Well, to figure that out, we actually have to start from the inside and work our way out. We've got to understand the foundation before we can even begin to talk about the finish. All right, first up, the foundation. Yeah, before we get to the shiny stuff, we need to talk about the very thing it's all designed to protect, that fiberglass hull. You know, a fiberglass boat is what we call a composite structure. The easiest way to think about it is like layers of special fabrics, things like matte and woven roving, all glued together with polyester resin. That's what gives the hull all its strength and its shape. But here's the thing you've got to understand. While that fiberglass laminate is incredibly strong, it is not invincible, not by a long shot. See, the resin itself can actually absorb water over time, and that can lead to some serious headaches like blisters. So that super strong core, it needs a really tough outer shield to survive out in the water. And that brings us to our first major player, Gelcoat. For most fiberglass boats out there, this is the original finish right from the factory. Honestly, you should think of it as the boat's own skin. So what is this stuff exactly? Well, Gelcoat is basically a special, thicker type of polyester resin that has color mixed into it. When a boat is being built, it's the very first thing they spray into the mold. Then, they build the rest of the fiberglass hull right on top of it. So when they pop the new boat out of that mold, voila, the gel coat is already there as this beautiful, glossy, and protective outer surface. And gel coat is doing a few jobs all at once. It's giving the boat its color and that high gloss shine you see, but it's also the main defense against water and UV damage. And here's the best part. Because it's so thick, you can literally sand and buff away years of sun damage and oxidation to bring that shine right back. But, you know, what happens when that original gel coat gets really old, chalky, or just damaged beyond what a good buffing can fix? Well, that's where our second contender comes into the picture, marine paint. Okay, let's put these two right up against each other. Gel coat gets applied in the mold and literally becomes part of the boat. It's super thick. Marine paint, on the other hand, usually a two-part polyurethane, is a much, much thinner coating that you apply on top of an existing surface, like that old gel coat. Its biggest advantage? Modern paints have incredible UV resistance, and they hold onto their gloss for way longer than gel coat ever could. So here it is. Gel coat is the boat's skin, but paint is like a high-tech set of clothes you put on over it. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You bought a used boat, you love it, but you have no idea if you're looking at the original finish or if someone painted it along the way. Well, don't worry, there's a pretty simple way to find out. It's called the solvent test, and you can totally do this yourself. First, find a spot that nobody's going to see, like inside a locker. Now, soak a rag in a special solvent, a reducer made for a two-part paint, and just tape it to the hull for about half an hour. When you peel it off, if the surface is all wrinkled or melted, you're looking at a pretty basic one-part paint. But if it's just a little soft or maybe not affected at all, then congratulations, you've got either a tough two-part paint or the original gel coat. Okay, so we've talked about the skin and the clothes, but there's one more character in this whole story we have to talk about, the structural armor. And that, my friends, is epoxy. Okay, this is really important to get. Epoxy is not a pretty top coat. It has terrible UV resistance. The sun will just tear it apart if you leave it exposed. Its job isn't to look good. Its job is to be ridiculously strong, incredibly sticky, and totally waterproof. It's the ultimate problem solver for repairs and for protecting everything below the waterline. And hey, the proof is right here in the numbers. Look at this. After 6 weeks, standard polyester resin, which is what gel coat is made of, is only about 30% effective at keeping water out. A good paint? Much better, around 65%. But a quality marine epoxy like West System, we're talking over 80% effective. It creates a barrier that is almost impossible for water to get through, which is exactly why it's the #1 choice for fixing and preventing hull blisters. So let's just nail this down so it's super clear. Polyurethane paint is the champion for anything on the top sides that needs to look amazing, all thanks to that UV resistance. Epoxy is the undisputed king for anything underwater, for primers, and for structural repairs, because its adhesion and waterproofing are just superior. And gel coat? It's still the best choice when you want to do a thick, original-style repair that you can sand down and blend perfectly with the factory finish. All right, so now that we know what all this stuff is and what it does, how do we actually take care of it? Let's get practical and talk about maintenance and repairs. If your boat's got that sad, chalky, faded look, that means its gel coat has oxidized. Now, bringing it back is a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie, but the results are absolutely incredible. The secret weapon is a power buffer and a good oxidation remover to just scrub away that dead top layer. Once the shine is back, you have to protect it. That means at least 2 coats of a good paste wax to seal everything up, and then maybe a liquid carnauba wax on top for that insane mirror finish. But what if the damage is, well, deeper than just a little fading? For bigger problems like gel coat blisters or deep gouges, the repair process is a lot more involved. It usually means you have to remove all the damaged material, fill in the voids, often with epoxy for its strength, and then smooth and fair the whole area before you can put a new protective coating on. This isn't just about looks. This is about restoring the actual integrity of your hull. So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Gelcoat is the original skin. Marine paint is a new set of clothes that you put on later for a fresh look, and epoxy is the structural armor you use for ultimate protection and tough repairs. Skin, clothes, and armor, if you can remember that, you'll know exactly what's going on with your boat's hull. And that just about wraps up our deep dive into marine coatings. We've covered the what, the why, and the how. So the final question? It's for you. Armed with all those new knowledge, what's the very first thing you're going to check the next time you're down at the dock? Thanks for tuning in.